Lesson 6, All About the Weather, a Natural English Guide. Hello and welcome to this lesson. Today, we are going to talk about something everyone experiences and loves to discuss, the weather. But we are not just going to list words. We are going to explore how to describe different kinds of weather naturally, from cold and wet to hot and windy. So, let us get started. Cold weather. Let us begin with cold weather. Imagine you are in Northern Europe. Even in late autumn, the daytime temperatures can be quite mild. However, the days are often misty, foggy, and a little damp. You know, that slightly wet feeling that is not very pleasant. Then, winter arrives. And with it come frost, icy roads, and sometimes severe weather, including heavy snow. People in these regions expect bad weather, so they try to keep warm to avoid freezing. In fact, freezing temperatures can continue in the far north until May or even June. That is when the ground finally starts to thaw and the ice begins to melt. So, let us quickly review some keywords here. Daytime means during the day. Late refers to towards the end of a period. Misty means the air is full of small drops of water, making it hard to see. Damp means slightly wet and uncomfortable. Frost is that thin white layer of ice on surfaces. Severe means extremely bad. Thaw is the change from a frozen state to a softer state. And melt is when something solid turns to liquid under heat. Warm and hot weather. Now let us move to warmer places. In a tropical climate, the weather is often very different. It can be stifling, which means it is so hot you can hardly breathe. It can also be muggy and humid, warm and damp, making you sweat a lot. In other hot climates, you might experience boiling hot days, and heat waves are quite common. Here is a quick recap. Tropical means very hot, like countries near the equator. Stifling is hot and uncomfortable, making breathing difficult. Muggy is very warm and a little damp. Humid means hot and damp, which makes you sweat. Boiling is extremely hot. A heat wave is a very hot, dry period. Wet weather. Now, let us talk about rain. We have a whole scale of words to describe wet weather, from light to extreme. It goes like this: a shower, then heavy rain, then pour down as a verb, or a downpour as a noun, then torrential rain, and finally a flood. For example, if the rain will not last long, we call it a shower. If it rains a lot during the night, we say there was quite heavy rain or it rained heavily. If it is really coming down, we say it is pouring down or there is a real downpour. In places like Malaysia, there is often torrential rain most days, and the roads sometimes get flooded. We can also say there are sometimes floods on the roads. Also, if the sky is very cloudy, we say it is overcast. And on the other end of the scale, if there is no rain for a very long time, we call that a drought. For example, last summer we had a drought. It did not rain for 6 weeks. Wind. Finally, let us talk about wind. It can be gentle or extremely dangerous. On a calm day, there might be a gentle breeze on the beach, just enough to cool you down. But if the wind is strong, we say there is a strong wind or a high wind. In fact, it might be so strong that your umbrella blows away. If it is even stronger, we call it a gale. On a day with a gale, you probably would not go sailing. And the most extreme wind is a hurricane. It is so dangerous that people stay indoors when one is on the way. A common mistake to avoid. Before we finish, let me point out one very common mistake. The word weather is uncountable in English. So, we say we had bad weather that day. We never say a bad weather. It is a small detail, but getting it right makes a big difference in your spoken English.